welcome into today's call. We got Technical Tuesday for you, led by no other than the man himself, Mark. So before we make an introduction here, guys, we're going to go around as always and talk about some wins, some things that we're grateful for, and just seeing and setting the mood for the rest of the day, guys. So Clint, what's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Doing good, man. I'm grateful for knocking out projects, getting things off the docket, so then that way I can start filling in more projects and learning more stuff. There's a lot of like courses and things. I'm like so far behind on like the learning stuff, but this month was very, very blessed with this month, and but it did put me behind on learning things, unfortunately. So it's a great thing, but it's also kind of like, oh crap, I don't know how to do this now.
Yes, sir. Yes. Well, hey, that sounds awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Clint. If you want to drop that win in the chat, we love to hear that you're delivering on work. And you know what they say, Clint, right? More money, more problems. So that's awesome that now you're in that problem solving mode where you're executing and getting those things done. So that is fantastic. We got Rob, Zach, Robert in the building. Nice to see you guys. So I believe we're going to go ahead and jump in. Obviously, this is being live streamed to the main group, and you guys are also going to be able to catch the replay. So welcome to Technical Tuesday, led by Mark himself. Guys, a lot of you already know who Mark is, but in case you didn't, in case you've been living under a rock, he is responsible for making millions of dollars in multiple online courses over the past few years. He's responsible for everything backend when it comes to MCM. And he's just a fantastic human being, individual, father, husband, and just a great friend. So we have a lot to learn today. He's going to be, diving deep every single week on Technical Tuesdays over the next few weeks. So make sure you show up every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central, where we're going to be doing these calls. And, I'm excited because I'm going to be taking notes today, guys. There's so many things that I'm still learning from Mark on a daily basis that is helping us with our video production business. So make sure you take some notes today. Make sure you absorb. If you're watching the replay, set it up, take some time to listen, and we're excited to hear what you got, Mark. So without further ado, Mark, come on in, my brother.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you, man. First off, I'm going to share a win real quick because this is cool. I've got a new venture that's getting off the ground really fast. It's been nuts. It's blown my mind. But man, it's all come from my network. It's all come from knowing somebody who knew somebody who introduced me to someone who knew someone else. And that's all happened over the course of literally 5 years. All of these relationships have been cultivating and growing in different ways. And it's turned into something that's just mind-blowing and incredible. So huge win and just a great reminder to nurture your relationships and keep good relationships. And something I've always tried to do is just check in with people, who I haven't talked to in a while. If I see them post a win, to comment, to send them a text. And dude, guys, it goes a really long way. So just wanted to encourage you all to do that because you literally never know who you met yesterday. It could turn into something huge 5 years from now if you just nurture the relationship. So that's been a big win and a good reminder for me. But without further ado, guys, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Everybody see this? Sweet. So today's lesson is going to be on the shorter side because it's very focused on an introduction to this software. But if this is something that you guys are going through and you're like, man, I want to dive into the software and I see the power behind it, I would encourage you to do so and get familiar with it over the next week, because starting next week, when we dive deep into some of these systems and how these things work out, you're going to be ahead of the game. You're going to be more comfortable and you're going to be ready to rock and roll if you dive in now. But before we jump in, I wanted to remind everybody, you get access to the new funnel bootcamp that I put out. All MCM members get this totally free. You can scan the QR code right here. It'll bring you to the page where you just put in your email and your info and you'll get access. So you can scan it now. You can scan it on the replay, whatever you want to do. I would suggest making sure that you sign up on the forum using the same email that's already associated with your MCM account. That way, this will just seamlessly be added into your course library. You won't have to do a different login. If you do that, you will not get a new login information email. You'll just log in with the email that you've been logging in with, and you'll now see the Funnel Bootcamp and Automation Bootcamp in your library. So today, y'all, we're going to talk about Course Creator 360 and an introduction to cc36. So first of all, what is cc36? It is a white labeled version of Go High Level, which a lot of you are probably familiar with. I know a lot of people at MCM, Real Deal, FTF use GHL. The reason I use 360 specifically, there's a few reasons. First of all, it was created by the Walbeck brothers, who I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. Parker Walbeck, full-time filmmaker, Course Creator Pro. These guys have taken Go High Level, and in my opinion, I've used the vanilla Go High Level. I've also used other third-party GHLs. This is the best one, and it's also the most updated one. Now, it's called Course Creator 360 because they sell it primarily to course creators, but you don't have to be a course creator. But man, when I tell you, I literally before we went live, I was telling Jay and Rob, man, they just posted a new update. They added a new capability. These guys are always adding new stuff. That being said, if you have vanilla Go High Level, if you have another white labeled Go High Level, everything we talk about in the Technical Tuesdays, everything I talk about in the Funnel Bootcamp is all applicable. Everything works the same. But we here at MCM, myself, for all of my businesses and all my clients, I use the Course Creator 360 version of GHL. So a little overview of GHL/360 and why it's the best. And I can say this confidently because over the past 7 years, I have used every major platform, every major software for email, SMS, course hosting, website building, funnel building, landing pages, all this stuff. And CC360 is the best all-in-one solution that I have found for my own business, for your business, and for your client's business. Inside 360, you have everything you could possibly need. Funnel and website and landing page builders with analytics for each specific page, and then your whole analytic dashboard altogether. You can really look into what pages are converting, unlimited A/B split testing. Man, when you really dive in, it's next level what you can do. Customer relationship management or CRM and pipelines, that's all managed through here, email and SMS, unlimited automations. I always tell people the only cap on what you can and can't do with automations is your imagination. If you can imagine it, there's pretty much always a way to make it work, which is awesome. Call tracking and automated voicemails, surveys and forms, reputation management, paid media tracking and analytics. So you can plug in your Facebook ads, your TikTok ads, your Google ads, and you can see all of the analytics and all of the performance all in one place. Hosting for courses and products. So if you're selling physical products, if you're selling online products, you can host all that here, sell all that here. Calendars and booking. Integrate seamlessly with Google Calendar. You can embed your Calendly, whatever you want to do. Video player and video hosting, unlimited team and staff members, and a whole ton more. So I pulled this graphic on here from their site, kind of showing this is the old way. And I can relate to this way too much because when I first got into the online course game, we had so many platforms and softwares, and I was using Zapier to kind of bootstrap them all together. And not only was it super expensive, but when one thing broke, everything broke, and then everything goes awry, and it's a huge mess. So this is a game changer. There's a reason that the MCM team uses this. There's a reason I use it. There's a reason I tell my clients to use it. So if you're interested, you can scan the code down here to learn more about it. And there'll be other opportunities. You can watch the replay to get that link as well. And like I said, it's not just for course creators. I personally have used CC360/GHL to sell multiple seven figures in courses and coaching, but I've also used it to help clients in everything from concrete leveling to energy management to live events, and a whole slew of other aspects and industries have used this 360 specifically to grow and scale their businesses through everything we just talked about. And I'm going to go back here real quick because what's cool with all of these things you see, all of this can be tied together through automations. You can set up automations. If you need all of these different aspects to speak to each other in whatever way you need, you can make that happen. And when you start automating things in your business, you get time back. And one of the biggest selling points, for example, I recently did a deal for $23,000 with a life coach to rebuild all of his stuff in 360. And the biggest selling point for him was the automations. Because if you ask them, how much does it cost you to do this? Okay, and how much does it cost you to do this? What if I could put that all in one place, package it for you, set it up for you? What would that be worth? You'd be surprised how much you can charge for that if that's something you're interested in. I talk more about that in that funnel bootcamp. So if you want to learn more, again, you can scan here, guys, just full transparency, because that's how we do it here. This is an affiliate link. We will get 30% if you use this and you join and you pay a subscription. The MCM team will get 30% of that subscription every month. But the really cool thing is you can do the same thing for your clients. So you can actually earn money, or at the very least cover your subscription by getting an affiliate link set up. So if you're on 360, they have a very generous affiliate split. You get 30% every single month, no cap. And you would just sign up. You'd email support@coursecreator360.com, say, I would like to get it set up with an affiliate link. They'll set you up really quick and really easy. They have a new affiliate dashboard that you can go in and see. They pay you out via PayPal every month. And if you were to get 8 people to sign up, you'd be getting about $352 a month for doing nothing. And you can cover your own subscription if you're on the plan I'm going to recommend. It comes out to like 3.33 clients. So I rounded it up to 4 clients. But even 3 clients are going to pretty much cover your whole subscription. So if you want to get started on 360, you can scan the code here. You can do one of 2 things. The first thing you can do is you can actually book a demo with them if you'd like someone to walk you through it. If you have questions, go ahead, book a demo, or you can actually start a free trial. So what I would suggest is if you're interested in jumping on 360 and utilizing this for your business and your clients, and you want to at least dip your toes in and learn, maybe go through that funnel boot camp, start coming to the technical Tuesdays, as we're going to start diving in really deep over the next several weeks. You can get 14 days completely free. And what I would suggest is this $147 per month plan. And one of the other reasons I like 360 in comparison to vanilla GHL is I believe at this price point, you get the best bang for your buck. So vanilla GHL, I believe, is either $97 a month or $197. But the $97 a month package doesn't necessarily have everything you're going to get in 360. And the $197 is comparable to their elite plan, which I run some pretty decent sized businesses. I've never needed the $197 a month plan. The $147 has always been good for me. That's what I get all my clients on. And like I said, you get a few people in your affiliate list, you can pay that off, becomes completely free. A couple other reasons I love 360. First of all, the Walbecks are good dudes. I know them. I know them personally. I know the guys that have put this together. I believe in what they're doing and the value they want to offer. They're good dudes, and I like to support people that are doing good things. And second of all, like I said, they're always updating this much more than any other version I've ever seen. And also, they have the best support I've ever seen of any software I've ever been on. You hit the chat bubble, you email them, you always get support. One time they jumped on a Zoom call with me. I had an emergency with a domain emergency for a client. Someone jumped on a Zoom with me on like a Sunday afternoon with 5 minutes notice. So if you're having trouble, they're going to do what it takes to fix it, which in my opinion, you really can't put a price on that. It's really hard to find. So a couple things to keep in mind if you want to master the platform. You do have that support right here. So in your dashboard, you'll see this red bubble down here. That's support. You hit that up. You fill out a quick form of what you need. Someone's going to get in touch. They have phenomenal support. You can ask questions in the MCM community. I'm in there. The MCM boys are in there. We'll try to help you as best we can, but I would strongly suggest go right to the source, go to the support. They also have a 30-day boot camp, which is another huge selling point for me with 360 specifically, because Stockton Walbeck has personally filmed more than 30 videos now showing you step-by-step how to do everything. And that's super valuable. So a few things to not miss if you're like, hey, I'm going to jump in. I'm at least going to test it out. Go through the funnel boot camp, give it a test drive, come to Technical Tuesdays. The first thing is setting up your business info. So when you jump in on your left-hand side, and admittedly, it can be a little bit intimidating when you jump in and there's all these menus and there's all these dashboards and you're not sure what anything is. The first thing I'd suggest you do is go to your business info. And actually, when you sign up, they'll prompt you to book an onboarding call, which will be really good because they'll give you some information. They'll help you set up your domain if you're not sure how to do that in GoDaddy or wherever you're hosting from. They'll also help you set up a custom email domain that's going to really increase the deliverability on your emails. The impact of that is insane. I had one course client who didn't do that when he set things up. We'd send out sale emails and he wouldn't get sales because a lot of them were going to spam. I went in 360, jumped on a call with Ken, who is a rock star over there on the support team. I always request Ken. So if you need this done, request Ken. The dude is the best they have. Shout out to Ken. And we got that set up. And then we started sending out sale emails for holidays. And the dude made like 30K in a weekend, literally just because emails started getting delivered. So email deliverability is a game changer. So you want to make sure you get that set up in your onboarding call. Then you want to get in, go to settings, set up your business profile. You're just going to fill out some things like your EIN, your LLC or your sole proprietorship or your business name, just some of the legal stuff that you're going to need to fill out for some of these further steps. The second thing, again, is that domain. So if you don't jump on that onboarding call or you neglect to set up the domain on that call, you can go into settings, you can go to domains, you can set that up. They have a brief direction. Really, you just need to go into GoDaddy, wherever you're hosting, edit some DNS, copy and paste some things that they'll tell you to copy and paste. You can get your domain connected. Or if you're like, man, I've already got my website and my funnels, my landing pages on another domain. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with 360. I don't want to ruin my current domain. Just set up a subdomain. And that would be something if your domain was markcloutier.com. You could set up a subdomain, which would be go.markcloutier.com or courses.markcloutier.com. And you can do unlimited subdomains. We utilize those a lot for different things. The third thing is your SMS number. One of my favorite features with 360 is the ability to seamlessly integrate SMS and text marketing. And we've seen huge results in a lot of different industries in a couple different ways. The first way, some of you guys might know David Bibiano, my partner at Real Deal. He started a new course on disc golf because he's super passionate, and man, that thing has taken off. And one of the biggest reasons it's taken off is we have really utilized SMS marketing. He'd go to tournaments, he'd hand out flyers, or he'd partner with the organizers. They hand out thousands of flyers. It would say, text the word power, because it's Power Disc Golf Academy. Text the word power to this number. You'll get 2 free lessons. What we're doing there is, first of all, we're getting leads, we're getting people's numbers so we can blast them out sales as they come. And second of all, we are adding value, getting them 2 free lessons, getting them in the funnel, getting them to buy. And that's just a small way that you can do this. The second way would be, once you get people's numbers, you send out sales. Hey, Memorial Day sale, save 30%. SMS open rates tend to be like 98%, as opposed to email, which is about maybe 20 if you're lucky. Like if you're sending really good emails, you'd be lucky to get about a 20% open rate. So SMS is super valuable. And we're going to have a whole lesson on a Technical Tuesday about automations, and we'll talk more in depth about some of these SMS automations and the strategies behind them. But get yourself set up with a number. It only costs a few bucks a month. And then if you send a whole bunch of texts, you'll get charged incrementally, but it's super, super low. I'm talking a fraction of a cent per text. So if you're doing this the right way, it's going to be a huge value add. You can set up any number you want, or at least you can choose your area code. So I'm in Rhode Island. So if it's one of my businesses, I choose 401, which is Rhode Island area code. And then I just pick a number that I like and I choose that, and that can become the number. You can also link that number to a company phone number and set up a voicemail. You can do call drops if you want to through that number. So if you want to send out a mass voicemail campaign, you can do that as well. So a lot of value here, and that's under settings, phone numbers, set that up. Now you do want to make sure you get your A2P 10DLC registration set up when you do this. This is a new law that the federal government here in the United States recently put into effect, which is definitely a net positive because it's going to take away from the amount of people that can just spam text, scams and spam and all this stuff. So when you go into the phone numbers tab, you set it up, you'll be prompted by 360. They have a video tutorial of exactly what to do. And I also have a Loom that I can get you if you need it on what to do. And you're basically just going to fill out some legal information about your business, things like your EIN, your address, your website, anything that you should have already if you have a legal business entity. And then you're going to fill out some samples of how your texts will look. And they give you a template for all of this. So basically, you just copy and paste what they say. You make it applicable to your business, and you should be approved. And this means that you are just telling the government and the governing authorities, hey, I'm a legitimate business. I'm not scamming people. I'm following the correct rules and laws. And then you'll be able to send text messages, no problem. And this is great because people will start getting less spam messages, which will make your legit messages all that more impactful and powerful. So the fourth thing is going to be your integrations. So in the settings tab, you go to integrations. You can connect a whole bunch of stuff here. You can connect your Facebook and your Instagram accounts. One of the biggest reasons we do this is because we use automations for IG DMs or Messenger DMs. Much like I talked about with the SMS, you can say, hey, DM me the word power, and here's what you're going to get. They DM that, you can set up an automation. Again, we'll cover this in the automations lesson. There's also full lessons on all the automations I use in that funnel bootcamp that you get access to for free. But this stuff's really game changing because you start to get into lead gen. If you hire an appointment setter and all they have to do is look in your pipeline that you've used automations to link to your campaigns, everything's automated. Your appointment setter or you, all you have to do is book the call and get on the call and close the deal. Everything else is done. So gone are the days of having to do anything manually. We also link our Facebook and Instagram accounts for better ad reporting so we can get everything in one dashboard. You can link your Google account. That's your Google Ads account and your Google My Business. And this is a whole other aspect that this software has is reputation management. You can set up an automation, and I did this for a lot of my clients, especially like home service clients. They love this. I say, hey, what we're going to do is your whole booking system for getting someone booking a call or a quote is going to be automated. The follow-up and the reminders are going to be automated for when you're going to show up. And then after the job's done and you go in your pipeline, you move that deal to job done or job completed. A new automation is going to fire that's going to send them a text and say, hey, leave me a review on Google. And when they leave that review on Google, that will be reflected in your dashboard right there in 360. And you can do all your reputation management all in one place. So that's a huge value add. Also, you're going to want to link your Stripe or your QuickBooks, however you take payments. We use Stripe on our end, but you can link all that here. And again, integrate everything seamlessly. You can also connect TikTok. So if you're doing TikTok ads, if you're doing TikTok organic, you can link all that up. And once you get automations in place, everything can run on its own. There's other stuff you can link here. I personally have not worked with Shopify and 360 or Slack. I haven't worked with QuickBooks either. The mail gun connection is automatically linked when you get your account set up. So that's it for today, guys. Like I said, really brief. This is a very introduction focused lesson. We're going to really be diving deep into these systems in the coming weeks. So next week, we're going to start talking about how to use this software for your business right now in the most impactful ways. And I'm going to kind of lay out the things that if I was you, what I would do first and how I would do that, just to get yourself going so you have this self-sustaining automated system so you can focus on other areas of your business. And you don't have to work so much in your business. You can work on the business and growing the business, which is oftentimes one of the biggest bottlenecks that we have. We only have 24 hours in a day. We spend so much time working on the business that we forget, or in the business, we forget to work on growing and scaling the business. So next week, we're going to talk about building your first funnel for lead gen and client acquisition. We're going to talk about, I forgot to add this, but linking your calendar and getting your booking and all that stuff set up. We're going to talk about your IGDM connection. Because if you guys have looked at and listened to these MCM guys at all, you know you need to be using Instagram DMs, Instagram automations. That's a super powerful tool. And we're going to talk about linking that automation to your funnel system that you built and how that all works together. And we're going to talk about putting together a basic pipeline and automating that as well. So next week's we're going to dive in deep. So if you're interested in diving into this, I'd really encourage you, if you haven't already, get on the platform, start a free trial, get familiar with it. So by the time we start going over how to set some of this stuff up, or if you want to go through that funnel boot camp, you'll be ready to rock and roll, because we're going to dive in and it's going to be good stuff. And I know the MCM guys can personally attest that this stuff works and this stuff is impactful and it's game changing in the business. So with that said, guys, really brief lesson today. Excited to dive in more, but happy to field any questions anyone might have on anything. And of course, you'll be able to catch the replay. I'm happy to send you the slides, whatever you need, just let us know. But this will all be available to you guys.
Very nice, guys. Quick round of applause for Mark putting this together for us. That was an awesome introduction to cc36, Mark. Thank you so much. I know I have a few questions, but before I ask those, I'd love to hear from everyone. I see Chris is in the building, PJ, Graham, Clint. What questions do you guys have for Mark about cc36 and how it can help you, how it can help us grow our video production business?
I don't have a question. I mean, I got set up on cc36, but it was a definitely good like reminder, like, hey, I need to do this. Is one of the courses that I'm like I am behind on, right? Like I got cc36, I got set up, but then that's as far as it went. So I haven't learned it. And so Mark, thank you so much for being on this call and just lighting that fire under my butt, man, and reminding me like I need to get things going. So appreciate it.
Of course, man. Yeah, check out that funnel boot camp. And as you probably saw from this, I like to be brief and straight to the point, and I put that boot camp together with that in mind. So the lessons are as brief as I could make them, and straight to the point as I could make them. So hopefully it'll take up a minimal amount of your time, but that time spent will be well worth it. Looks like Christopher's asking in the chat, where is the funnel boot camp? Christopher, I put a QR code on the very first slide. So I'll share that again real quick here. You can also catch it in the replay. So if you scan this QR code right here, it'll bring you to a page. Just sign up on the form using the same email associated with your MCM account. You're not going to get a login email or anything, but then when you jump in to your dashboard in your course library in MCM, you'll now see the funnel bootcamp in there. If you have any trouble, shoot me a DM or email us at team@microcontentmastery.com. We'll make sure you get it.
Thanks. Yeah, I was like 10 minutes to this, so missed that. But thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I really don't have any other questions since I was late. I really have to just watch the replay. So, but I'm happy to be here. Thanks for getting this together. Really appreciate it.
We're happy you're here, man.
Awesome.
I got a question.
Go ahead,
Yes, sir.
So I know you've used a lot of the platforms too. I also have another white label platform, and my thing, like Clint said, lighting the fire, super helpful on that, because I'm trying to switch everything over to cc36, and there's just one feature that, from what I have set up, that is kind of hindering that. Do you know if cc36 has like a booking bot kind of AI stuff available to it?
That's a good question. I believe they do. I've definitely heard them talk about like an automated chat.
Yeah, it's still automations essentially, but like there's some like to it.
I haven't personally used it, but the cool thing with them is they're super responsive. If you like shoot them an email and say, hey, do you have this? And they'll either let you know we're working on it, which is usually the case, or they'll look into it. But I've definitely heard them talk about that for sure.
Sweet.
So I know that it's either in the works or it's already there. I personally haven't used it though. I know it also is definitely can be done with GHL, because I know other GHLs that do it.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. I appreciate it. I mean, this is, like Clint said, this is the thing that's lighting the fire. And so I appreciate that. Big help.
Very nice. Very nice. I'll ask a question. Mark, what would you say? I mean, obviously we love the DM funnels, but what would you say has been the biggest benefit, with all the courses and coaches you work with? Because remember, guys, everyone here, we suggest to work with coaches and course creators. So Mark has a ton of experience already working with our ideal avatar. that we know is going to be able to pay us the most amount of money in the longest amount of term. So let's use this time to really ask Mark as many questions as we can related not just to CC360, but also his experience working with coaches and course creators. So Mark, why would you say that any client we get as a coach or course creators to do their micro content, why should they, get CC360? How can we sell that? Kind of like you were talking about earlier. What are some of those selling points again for our clients?
Yeah, the biggest selling point is it's a true all-in-one solution. A lot of these platforms, like Kajabi is a great example. They call themselves an all-in-one solution, but they're not, because they don't have 80% of the features that a true all-in-one solution has. So that's the biggest thing, is everything can be done in one place, from the actual hosting of your courses to all of your marketing, all of your websites, and they can all be tied together seamlessly with automations. And the time that you save doing that is priceless. And then the amount of money you're able to make by utilizing all of these systems, not even taking into account the amount of money you're saving, is game changing.
Mm-hmm.
So my biggest thing for everyone is like, look, if you want to truly build out a value ladder, which you need if you want to hit that 7-figure run rate as a course creator or coach, you need everything from your low ticket offers to your high ticket offers to your high ticket offers. That all needs to work seamlessly for someone to get in for free or really cheap and then ascend up there. But you, as the coach or course creator, don't have the time to be emailing everybody, to be checking in with everybody, and all of that stuff. And this automates everything. And one aspect that I didn't even talk about is the integration with Facebook groups. They have a plugin in 360 where you can actually attach that to a Facebook group, whether that's a paid group or a free group, and that will put those people into your CRM, and you can set up automations about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a free Facebook group, which is a great way for lead gen, if done right, you can automate sending them their welcome email, sending them the free resources and the free gifts. So it's the best all-in-one solution I found. And the other selling point is that this was put together by guys who have sold well over $20 million in online courses, who have used, like, if you guys think I know what I'm talking about, and I've used a lot of stuff, they're way ahead of me. And they have built what they would consider to be their dream platform after $20+ million in sales. And the average course creator or client that you're going to be talking to, whether they're a coach or course creator, is not going to be nearly at that level. So that right there is instant credibility. So those are the biggest selling points for me. The way that I really get people to bite is honestly the savings in the time that they're going to get back, and also the savings in subscriptions. Because most of these people are paying, I've met with people who are paying over $5,000 a month in subscriptions. And when you say you can do all that for $147, they're going to say, hey, sign me up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask, Mark. And I see Chris has a question here, but real quick, what is that difference between a lot of these course creators that have all these different softwares versus Course Creator Pro being 150 is up to 5,000, it sounds like, but what is like the average? Are people paying like $1,000, $2,000 for these?
So when David and I were really pushing Real Deal hard, we were well over 500 a month. And that number was growing because we were using MailChimp for our email, and a lot of email places like MailChimp, as your email list grows, your subscription price grows. Where something like 360, they get you in at a one-time fee, and everything after that is pretty much unlimited. The only exception being SMS. If you go over a certain cap, you get charged again. It's like a fraction of a cent per message. And once you're at the level where you're sending that volume, you're making the kind of money where if you get charged an extra $9 for the month, you're not really worried about it. So yeah, it can be, I would say a lot of the people I've talked to who are doing well, like they're doing multiple 6 figures a year, maybe almost touching 7 figures, they're spending between 500 to 1,000 a month on all of these different softwares. And if you put that into a value proposition, let's say they're spending $1,000 a month, and you say, hey, I can, save you, let's say 10 grand a year. If you reinvest that into me building this all out for you, and you frame it that way, and then say, hey, not to mention all this is going to be automated, so you're going to get all this time back. You don't need to hire employees for any of this stuff. That's huge savings too. So when I pitched that guy for 23,000 to build all this out for him, he didn't even blink, because in comparison with how much he was spending on subscriptions and going to save there, plus the amount he was going to save not having to pay people to do a lot of this stuff, it was a huge ROI for him, which is a no-brainer of a deal.
Very nice, very nice. And the last thing here, Chris, before we jump right in, is for everyone here, I want to make sure they watching the replay, they can implement this right away. So who's already started working on their free trainings? Guys, raise your hand real quick. Free trainings, anyone? Clint, PJ, Graham, Robert, yeah, Chris. Okay, Chris. So well, that's the very first thing, guys, that we need to do is micro content 30, free trainings 4. That's like the bare minimum. If we're not doing that already, it's like that's like the foundational piece. It's going to allow us to get us free value, right? We got to give away these $100 bills to our leads, so that way if we get rejected, it doesn't matter, because we're just giving free value and people will accept it. We got to take time to create this value. So once we create the value, which you guys already have the tools for, filming and editing it, then a software like this is going to help tremendously, because this is where you're going to be able to host those free trainings. And when you send the link with the free training, it's already nice and pretty. It's got a title, it's got, the videos ready to play. It's also going to have a call to action button at the bottom that says, if you need more help, schedule a call. So then you click on that button after they watch that 10-minute training, that this is all being automated. If you send out 100 free trainings a day, there's 100 opportunities for someone to click that button where they can schedule a call with you. And when they click that button, it's going to take them to the Calendly integration. This is all automated through cc36. And then when they click on the Calendly to try to book you for a call, it's going to have your qualifying questions, right? So this is, are you a coach or course creator? How much money are you making per month? You have all those questions there. If anyone needs help with those, we'll send them right away. We already have made some videos on it in the past, but we want to get those qualifying questions one step at a time. 30 micros, 4 free trainings. Then we get cc36, and then we get the Calendly integration. So then they fill out those questions. If they're qualified, now you have a qualified call that was all automated. You guys understand? So this is automated. And then when they book that call, Chris, let's say you book a call with us, the day before the call goes out, it's going to send you an automation that says, hey, our call is coming up tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central. Before our call, check out this quick 3-minute video that I made to prepare you for the call. So now this is a VSL where we're saying, hey, if you're a coach or course creator, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I just want to let you know, this is what the call is going to look, whatever. We really package it that way. And then again, 12 hours before the call goes out, there's another automation that goes out that says, hey, before our call, I just wanted to send you a quick, page with some of our client success stories. And this is where you send out your testimonials. So this is all being automated right before they hop on a call. 12 hours before they get on a call with you, they've already seen a video that qualifies them further. They've already answered questions that qualifies them. And then they've already seen some of your testimonials, which builds social proof. So then 5 minutes before the call happens, there's another automation that goes out that says, please respect our time, right? Our time is valuable. We respect your time. Please show up to the call. And then if they still don't show up to the call after all these automations, there's another one that goes out that says, hey, we missed you today. Please use this link to reschedule a call. So guys, this is all stuff that we've done hand by hand. Like I remember the days on LinkedIn and on Facebook doing all these networking calls, trying to get the name out there. Just like Mark, it does take time. Before you're making the millions, it takes 3, 4, 5 years of building those relationships, but it still starts. And you're going to build relationships within your first day of doing this. You're going to build relationships within your first week, within your first 2 months. It's just about how long and how consistent can you keep doing it. So these softwares are going to allow the consistency aspect to keep going without your brain frying. Like my brain's fried, and I'm sure a lot of your guys' brain has been fried before. Getting those automations is going to help. So I really wanted to make sure that everyone here, especially watching the replay, has an exact way to know how they can implement this right away, which is create your free trainings. And this is where you're going to host it on cc36, and it's going to allow the follow-up process to move smoothly. When you send out these training guides, this is where you're going to wake up the next day and you're going to have Calendly link notifications to say, hey, you have 3 new calls booked, and you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything other than send out free value. and set up the automations where you have a call to action at the end of your video. Hey, if this virtual studio process is too complicated, go ahead and schedule a call down below and we can help you out. Hey, if this editing process is too complicated for you, you don't have enough time, schedule a call, we can help you out. And again, they have to fill out the question. Like, Jay, what if I just get a bunch of people who are just trying to get on my well, they have to fill out those questions before they can book the call with you. So if you see that it's just someone messing around and not really taking your time seriously, you can cancel that call. But at least this is all happening automatically while you're also doing the Facebook strategy every day, manually adding new people, building those connections. So it takes time, and there's no AI or no robot that's going to solve that for us. But there are systems that can at least streamline it so we can be consistent down the road. So anyways, I hope that was helpful for you guys as far as how we can implement this right away, and have some action steps that within this week we can take to make this happen. Like Mark said, there's a 2-week free trial, I believe, using that link. And that means that if you get your trainings done by the end of this week, you'll have 2 weeks to like set this up. Mark, obviously, we're going to be doing weekly calls. Mark's going to be teaching this stuff. So guys, take advantage of it. Don't be the or the guy or the gal who waits till the end of this program and it's like, oh, I should have done the CC stuff. Like, do it now, set it up. There's 2 free weeks of doing it. Like, we have everything we need to get it going so that we can ask these questions while we're experiencing the problems, right? Because that's what's going to allow us to.
And if you want to
very quickly,
if you're sitting here too and you're like, I want to start like right now, get that funnel bootcamp, because there's breakdowns for exactly what Jay just talked about that you can like dive into right now.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Yeah, so that's already a course that Mark has given away for free for you guys here, part of the MCM community. He spent a lot of time and energy building that. Guys, check that out today. Mark, how long would you say if someone sat there and watched the video from start to finish? How long? How many hours would they need?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but I don't. Maybe I don't know. Under 2 hours for sure. I tried to keep it as brief and concise as I could. Don't quote me on that if you watch it and it's like 4 hours and you're like, this guy's a liar.
Guys,
but I really tried to keep it as concise. I believe most of the videos are sub 10 minutes.
Perfect. So guys, really, anyone watching this, that is your homework for this week, is watch the course so that next week on Technical Tuesdays, we're all caught up on the same information. We all have the same foundation. It'll take 2 to 4 hours, guys. That can be done while you're editing. It can be done while you're doing you can sit the time, instead of Netflix, just put it up on your, Rob and I talk this quite a bit. We're all humans. We all need to de-stress, but I hope no one here is watching Netflix. All right. If you're going to watch anything on TV, watch courses. There's so much information, right? Before you go to bed, let it play and let it engrave into your brain while you sleep. Like, there's no reason to watch YouTube or Netflix or anything that isn't helping us generate more income right now, especially with the time that we are. It's third quarter, guys, coming up on fourth quarter here soon. And it's the last sprint to really make this year worth it financially.
Jay, if I can just speak for a second to the power of what you said about leading with value. I was talking to a gentleman I know the other day because I saw him on a big podcast. He's on Brad Lee's podcast. Brad Lee's a pretty big entrepreneur. And this guy who was on there, he rubs elbows with guys like Grant Cardone, Ed Milet, Hermosi. Like, this guy's well connected. And he was on Brad's podcast, and I sent him a text. I was like, dude, I saw you on the podcast. We got on a call just to catch up. And he was like, dude, the amount of people that are reaching out to me trying to sell me stuff is ridiculous. And he goes, not a single one of them is leading with value. He's like, I can't believe this. He's like, it's been an hour. I've had 10 emails come in. Because obviously he pitched his email, he pitched his course. He has the biggest real estate sales training course in the country. And he's like, dude, if just one of these people would have led with value and come and approach me in a professional way, I honestly would be interested in considering them. And they were all asking, hey, I can edit your reels. I can help you with content, socials, all the stuff that micro content masters do. And this guy is in a position where he's actually looking to put all his businesses on autopilot to go into a new venture. And he's like, they were hitting me up at the right time because I need this, but it was a completely wrong approach. So if you approach someone and you add value, you will stand out. And you might be able to get someone like this guy who's a whale of a client to actually hit you back, jump on a call and close. because you never know what they might be looking for. So leading with value, I mean, that cannot be understated. And then if you have like these systems in place, like Jay just laid out, and you look really professional, you're not going to get the big clients looking unprofessional, not having systems, because they're big clients for a reason. They got rich for a reason. They have money to pay you for a reason, and it wasn't from doing things the wrong way. So they're going to see through your approach if it's half-assed. But if you are professional and you do it the right way, these are the people that will have the respect for that. And that's how you get on a call with someone like that, who doesn't just get on a call with anybody.
I absolutely agree, Mark. That was powerful. Thank you for sharing. And guys, this is huge to remember. Sometimes the way we think when we're at this starting level, you know, making enough for, like, we don't remember that the rich people are thinking differently, guys. Like sometimes we're thinking, I got my bills coming up, I got this, like, how can I get a quick sale? They're not thinking like that, right? So even when the pressure of life and the bills are coming up, we still need to somehow force or even trick ourselves to think from this higher perspective of, I still need to come with value. And Jay, how do I come with value when I have nothing? I can barely even pay my rent right now. I've been there, guys. I understand that. How do you do it? You have time. You take the time to create the value. You take the time to go chop a tree down and make those $100 bills. For us, we do that in the digital world. We take the time to set up our iPhone, our camera, set up some cheap lights. Check this out. How much do you think this light costs, guys? We have all the gear in the world. What do you think we're using here? Set up some lights, even use the natural sun, and then put out some content. Get your micros done, and then get those 4 long form free trainings that are actually valuable. Because when you lead with value, whether it's to the rich or to the poor, you're going to attract the right type of people, and you're going to be putting out the right type of energy out there, because you're saying to God, to the universe, hey, I'm not just going to sit here and ask for a handout. I'm going to put my head down, I'm going to work, and I'm going to create value with what you've given me. And even if all you have right now are your hands, the internet connection, that's more than enough to create value. That's more than a lot of people have there. A lot of people have out there, and it's why I want to continue encouraging us all to keep remembering how much value we have, and not just let it sit in us, but actually do something about it and give it to people.
Yeah, one last thing I'll say, Jay, and this, people like who are high net worth individuals, they love this approach. And I know that from experience, is if you see someone, like let's say you saw this guy on a prestigious podcast, and you look at his Instagram and his edits aren't very good, and you're like, man, I could help this guy. You need to not only provide value, but one thing that they love is when you say, hey, obviously you're tremendously successful, you have a great product, and I believe that everything people see outward facing should be a reflection of the quality of the product that you're selling and the business you're running. And right now, the content you're putting out is not as high quality or at the level of the services that you're offering or the value that you're bringing. And if we, like, here's a free training, or here's some stuff I did for so-and-so in your same industry, to display the level of value and quality outward facing to your prospects and leads, and here's a proven system of how that is going to make you more money, that is what people are interested in. And if you tell someone straight to their face, look, I know you are a quality individual with a quality product, and that's how you've been successful. Imagine where you'd be if everything outward facing was at the same level of that. High net worth individuals, successful people, they appreciate that. They like you calling it how it is, being straight to the point. And the reality is, if there's someone that has such an ego where they're like, dude, like, what the heck? I'm the best thing ever. You don't want to work with them anyway. All money is not good money. Some clients are more trouble than they're worth. So I'm telling you, the right approach is it's the game changer. It's the single thing that's going to be the differentiator between you getting on that call with someone or you getting marked as spam and hurting your email score.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. PJ, I see your hand up. Chris, I know your hand was up earlier. Did you still have a question? Do you want me to come back to you after PJ? Want to make sure we go in order.
I think you answered my question, Jay. I mean, ultimately it was just how do I know I'm ready to purchase 33 or cc36? Like, at what point in business would I know that I'm ready to do this? But you've kind of answered that already.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. And the good news too is 2 free weeks, so it gives you even 2 weeks of extra time to kind of get it all set up to then start making money with it. But yeah, no, I totally agree, guys. This is the best CRM calendar. It's just the basic foundation that you need as a business. And most of the time it would be a couple $1,000s to get everything. It's only 150, which is really
30-day free trial.
30-day free trial. Sorry, guys, 30-day free trial. So either 2 weeks or 30 days, but either way, you
I think it
get
actually might be 30
free
days.
time.
And
Um,
also, if you start paying for it or you know that bill's coming, you're going to be a hell of a lot more motivated to start using it.
That's for sure. That's for sure. But what I'll say too, guys, is the reason, I mean, the amount of times we've sent free trainings and then someone books a call through that has helped so much, instead of like you send the free training and then you got to follow up. What did you think of the training? Right. And either way, you got to follow up, but you're just setting yourself up for more people, just like, oh, right after they watch that video, their emotions are high. Okay, let me just book a call with this guy. I need my studio to look better. Clearly his studio looks good. And you can make your studio look good with like less than $100 from Amazon. So
You can
PJ,
also set it up where it's like, hey, if they don't book a call, follow up every quarter or follow up every month or however you want. So that way you don't have to keep, oh, today I got to follow up with so-and-so. And you can figure out over time what emails, what cadences, what copy works the best. And then when you do it long enough, you'll have that locked in and you can just plug in those winning systems and you can have a completely automated follow-up system, because you'd be surprised how many people might pay you for a service like 8 months after they first interacted with you, but you got to keep engaging.
oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. PJ, what you got for us, bro? We'll make sure we get to you.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, just like now that we're like in the process of kind of creating these things that are going to attract customers, if there's ever going to come a point where we can like do, or I don't know if it has to be a whole class, but just like some sort of like evaluation on like the stuff that we're producing.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A simple answer, PJ. Yeah, bro, if you can send it to the group chat, the accelerator chat, we'll all do some peer feedback, but specifically us, I mean, myself, Rob, Mark, Robert, Zach, anyone who you'd like to hear feedback from, we'll absolutely give it to you. So the simple answer is yes. And we can also do a class. What we'll probably do either on Thursday or next week is we'll do a quick lesson on how to set up these free trainings just from start to finish, so that everyone's set up, fully clear on what it is that these free trainings are supposed to look like. We've already given our examples away, but we'll do a whole lesson just kind of breaking it down exactly how you can build these. So we'll do that later on to make sure we all get value. Another thing I just wanted to touch on real quick from Chris, which I think will help anyone watching the replay as well, is at what point should you get CC360? This is what I'll say, guys. At the point where you're doing all the stuff we just said, sending out free trainings, following up, and you're like, holy cow, I don't have time for this. If you're not doing any of that stuff, then you probably don't need to automate any of it. What's the point of automating is once you have the ball rolling, then you automate it. If you're buying the software, it's not going to do anything for us if we haven't already got the ball rolling. So we are the ones who have to do the manual work, right? Crank up that lawnmower, tear your shoulder out. And then once it's rolling, okay, now CC360 for 150 a month will keep cutting that grass so you don't have to go out there with scissors and cut the grass. But either way, the grass has to get cut, guys. So go out
The
there.
work you put in the front end will save you a boatload of time.
Amen to that. Yeah, you can either mow the whole lawn with scissors, or you can put a little work up front and get the lawnmower going, and then save yourself that time in the long run, time and energy and effort. So, and not burn out, because how long can you cut the grass with scissors? You might have enough to pay the bills this month, but then how sustainable is that?
Also, Jay, if people make funnels and stuff, and if they want to submit all those in the group, I'd be happy to do, take a couple hours and just go through people's funnels, give feedback.
That's awesome. Oh, you guys hear that? That's incredible.
That as well.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. That's incredible, guys. We'll definitely, I'm sure we'll take advantage of that. Thank you. Thank you. Clint, what you got for us, bro?
Yeah, just to give some perspective, like with Chris, you're like, hey, should I do this? Yes or no? I'll let you know, I'm still kind of building up the funnels, but I went ahead and got the CC360 because I was paying like $200 a month just for website stuff. And with CC3, like you can have your website It's all in there. So for me, I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and sign up for cc36 with my website. That's going to save me $50 a month. But now I've like opened the floodgates to like, okay, now I can build out funnels, I can build landing pages, I can build out automations. I haven't done it, but again, like it was just kind of like a, oh crap, like I need a website. I want to have a website so people can check it out. And it was like, oh, I'm gonna save $50 a month, and now I just have all these other tools that I need to learn. So that was the reason why I jumped on. So I just wanted to like share like a personal experience if you're kind of on the fence whether or not. And it has a lot of capabilities for your website. Like you can integrate like videos, you can integrate fly-in tag, you can still do all that stuff that Wix and make it look all snazzy. And it has the capabilities of doing that. And you don't have to pay a different company. You can have that and then have all the million other things that it offers.
Oh, that's nice.
Totally.
That's powerful. Yeah. No, thanks for sharing that, Clint. Yeah. So if you guys are already paying for any websites or anything like that, I mean, you just save money automatically by switching over. So I totally agree. That's awesome, Clint. That's awesome. Cool, guys. We got a few more minutes, like 3 more minutes left. What final questions are coming up here, guys? We're going to look in the chat to see if anything's there. Funnel Bootcamp. Yep, we'll put up the QR code. Last thing, guys, again, anyone still watching the replay or here live with us, homework for this week, guys, by next Technical Tuesday. Can everyone here that's at least present with us commit to watching the Funnel Bootcamp? Chris, PJ, Clint, Graham, yes, that's a commitment. Awesome. Perfect. So we'll talk more about that next week, guys, because that's going to be the foundation for the next few Technical Tuesdays. The other homework to get done this week, I'll make time. I love it. That's what it is, guys. We all have the same time, but we got to make time for what matters. Another Alex Ramonzi said this quote: strategy. What is strategy? Strategy is taking your list of everything you got to do. Who here has a million things to do? I do. Anyone else has a million things? Okay, perfect. Take that list of a million and you're going to put it in order, prioritize it. So at the top of your priority list for this week, for MCM, for the time that you're putting aside for your business, your wealth, watch the Funnel Bootcamp. That's going to be at the top because that can be done multitask. You can listen to it. You can put it up on your screen, on your TV. You can multitask. The other thing is to at least start your 4 free trainings, guys. All right. Those need to be started this week. We'll create a lesson going deeper on how you can do them later this week, probably on Thursday. I think that'll be perfect for Thursday, but at least start, guys. Create the ideas, create the titles, take a look at our examples. I guess that's the second piece of homework. Let's make that happen. Watch the Funnel Bootcamp and then watch our examples, because at least you can see what are other people doing that's working. Okay. So those will take you like 10 minutes. And then we'll get those sent over here in a second. And then the third thing would be to show up on Thursday so that we can start building these out. Okay, is that fair for everyone? Can we get that done in the next few days? Wonderful. You guys are awesome. I'm excited to keep crushing it this month, guys. We have 11 days in this month to make things happen. I absolutely believe everyone here is willing to put their head down, is willing to be humble, is willing to do some hard work to set ourselves up for the end of this month and to be able to pay our bills early, on time, and have plenty to left over. So that is how we're going to end this call. Again, guys, a huge round of applause for Mark showing up today, putting us on cc36. Let's watch the information that he's already spent so much time developing, and let's get all caught up there. And we'll see you guys on Thursday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Later, guys.